figured I'd go live, but obviously can't really read any comments while I'm doing this, so there's that. I first wanted to say that I just found out today that Hexen Arcane was nominated for a Rondo Award, which is honestly one of my goals in life as a horror host. It was one of the things that I really most wanted to happen. Winning one would be amazing, like absolutely amazing. I don't know that that's ever going to happen, because we have some pretty big competition. We're up against Svengoolie, Elvira, Joe Bob Briggs, just so many amazing people. But just being nominated is like, for a horror host being nominated for an Oscar, it's that significant. So I'm super, super excited about that. And if you get a chance, please vote. I can't give you the info right now. You have to actually email in the ballot. So, and you don't have to fill out the whole ballot. Hexen Arcane for best horror host and send it. But anyway, if you want to do that, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. To find the email address to send to, just Google Rondo Award, R-O-N-D-O, Rondo Award, and it'll come up. So, really excited about being nominated for a Rondo Award. I know we've been written in before, and thank you to everyone who's ever written us in, but somehow we ended up on the ballot, and it's the most exciting thing. Other than that, tonight the show I'm headed to is the Almas, and they're a wonderful band. If you knew me from my time on Deadger's Dark Coffin Classics, you probably know Victoria Bathory. Anyway, she has something to do with the band, so I'm going there to support the band, see some great live music at Route 20 Outhouse tonight. And really, really excited about this show. And you should look up the band. If you are not local, not in the area, they're just about to go on tour. Look it up. The Almas, A-L-M-A-S, Almas. Check out their music. They are wonderful. They really rock. Great music. What else to talk about? Everybody really wish I could go. But I am going to go see it. Just not today. But I've been hearing it's really, really good. So if you've seen the Evil Dead movie, let me know if it's good or not. That's all I've been hearing is rave reviews about it. The last movie I saw in theaters was the Super Mario Brothers movie, and that was really fun. I actually enjoyed it a ton. I have to say I play a lot of Mario games, mostly the newer ones, to be honest. But they're just fun, and it brought all the fun of those movies in, so that was really a good time. And I keep hearing that the Evil Dead movie really brings in like that Evil Dead feel that you want from an Evil Dead movie. So and the remake was fine. I actually had no problems with the remake, but it wasn't very memorable to me. Like when I think of the modern remake, not Evil Dead 2, which is basically a remake. Wow, this keeps cutting out, and I don't even know why. But anyway, going to see Evil Dead is something I'm really looking forward to. I haven't been to that many live shows since the pandemic started, obviously, so I'm really excited to get out and be going to a live show tonight. If you happen to be there, look forward to seeing you. If you could make it out, that would be wonderful. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. It's an all-ages show, which is nice, too, so opens it up for more people. So what's everyone else doing tonight? Anyone doing anything fun? I was hoping that we could start having some nicer weather here, because we had like a week of summer that was beautiful, and now it was hailing and raining earlier. Yuck. So I'm just really excited for it to be nicer again. Morgan and I like to get out. We don't like to sit around that much. We like to go places. And there's so many cool places to go, but most of it's outside, and it really depends on the weather. And we can't go many places if it's raining or cold, because both of us are babies about the cold. I am way more of a baby about the cold than she is. I'm the biggest baby about the cold ever. what else is there to talk about. Has everyone seen Cocaine Bear by now? No, I was talking about that not that long ago. So I've actually gone to way more movies lately than I have in a while. So I saw Cocaine Bear, I saw Scream, saw Super Mario Brothers, saw Megan in the theater. So for me that was a big deal because I used to go to the theater all the time, but it's hard to find time and getting away and all that stuff. So I haven't gone as much lately, and I'm kind of making it a point to go see the movies I really want to see. Yeah, wait, why don't you want to see Cocaine Bear? So I'm driving, so I'm kind of glancing at comments, but mostly I'm driving. Because safe driving is very important to me. I was worried with Cocaine Bear because I am such a big animal lover, and I was like, this is going to be just the saddest story ever, and I'm not going to be able to handle it if something happens to this bear. And I ended up thinking it was great, and I thought it was hilarious and had a happy ending in the way that I would view a happy ending. So and I like the last couple Scream movies more than I think most people did. I thought they were both great. You know, Cocaine Bear, I can see why you think you wouldn't like it, and I can see why a lot of people wouldn't like it or don't. To me, it was just fun. It was like such an over-the-top premise that's like, how could you not, you know, how could I not have fun watching a movie about a bear and cocaine that's just messing a bunch of people up? It just, the concept is so wild, and I love Ray Liotta, so since it was like his last movie or one of his last movies, I was like, I need to go and see his, pay respects to my dude. And his part was great. I thought everyone in the movie was awesome. Especially the bears. Oh, there's the rain again. So excited for that. Anyway, so I was started off saying we got nominated for a Rondo Award. Hex and Arcade got nominated for a Rondo Award. It's a huge deal for me. Huge deal. It's like an Oscar for horror host. So if you can vote, go to Google Rondo Award. You don't have to vote in any other categories. You can just send an email with just that category, voting for Hex and Arcade or whoever you want to vote for. I'm not going to tell you have to vote for us. Also, if you happen to want to, you could vote for Literary License Podcast for Best Podcast category, Literary License, because one, they're great people, they're good friends of mine, and I've guest appeared on a few episodes, and it's been a lot of fun, so they definitely have my vote for sure. And the other thing I was talking about was going to see the Almas tonight. ALMAS. Go see the Almas if they're playing near you, or you can. They're so good. Okay, what is the award for? It is for Best Horror Host. Like the Rondo Awards are made for basically horror genre. There's like a Best Picture, there's Best Podcast, Best Magazine and Article, Best Cover for a magazine, you know, soundtrack, DVDs, things like that, all related to horror-related topics in the last year. And for horror hosts, getting nominated for a Rondo Award is the equivalent of getting nominated for an Oscar. Like, that is a huge deal. That to even be on the ballot for me is one of my top 3 horror host dreams come true. So I wanted to be nominated or win a Rondo Award. I want to be in a horror magazine like Rue Morgue or Fangoria or something, and I would love to be inducted into the Horror Host Hall of Fame. Those are like my 3 big goals. Will they happen? I don't know. Am I attached to the outcome? No. If it doesn't happen, you know, I'm still having fun. It's just, if that's something I'm working towards, that's it. And next year, in March, will be 10 years of me horror hosting. So it's been going on for a long time. And, you know, mean, obviously not as long as some people. Like Dr. Destruction has been doing this 20 years. Count Gordeval has been doing it for I don't even know how long. So I'm, you know, Svengoolie, I'm not one of the people that's been doing it for the longest, but thank you, Paul. Yeah, you know, and I don't blame you, Joe Bob's amazing. So definitely vote for whoever you think is best. I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for. Actually, I am a little bit. So if you were not having an opinion and you weren't going to vote for anyone else, please vote for Hexen Arcane if you can, because it means a lot. And also Mistress Peace, she's a great person, great horror host. If you can, check her out too. She's wonderful and a lot of fun. Well, I mean Mistress Malicious from Mistress Peace Theater. I said that wrong. But she's great. I love all our local horror hosts, especially. Like, whenever I get a chance to work with another horror host, I jump at it. It's one of my goals this year. I always write to-do lists, and one of them is things I need to do, and the other one is like goals I have. And on my goal list for this year is to go visit and film something with Monster Madhouse, Carlos Orloff, and I'm really excited about that. Oh yeah, I know, I agree. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. Put so much into his shows. Like, I know he has the budget, but have to get approval. No, on with that Gamera movie is public domain. I don't know that all of them are for a fact, but I know that one is, and I do make it a goal to be really careful on what we show. I don't think I'm 100% perfect all the time, but I do try to look up every movie before we show it to make sure it's public domain, because I don't want to get in trouble, but two, I really don't want to infringe on someone's rights. I don't think it's right to do that. I always pay for my movies, like I always pay for my games. I don't illegally download things just because I know how much work goes into things, and I absolutely do not want to do anything that would hurt somebody or anything like that. So I really try to. Let's see. Any projects I'm excited about? I did not know that there was anything. Okay, please tell me about this Netflix thing, because I didn't see it, and I'll admit I should. I watched Wednesday, and then I watched the 4th season of You, but other than that, I have not spent as much time on Netflix lately as maybe I should have. So I didn't hear about it, and I would like to. I don't spend enough time on the news either, because I'm so busy all the time that I don't do the research I should all the time in catching up with current events and things that are going on and coming out. Like, I'll randomly come across things and get super excited for them, but I wouldn't say I know everything that's coming out. So I'd love to hear more about this, because I have a special spot in my heart for Gamera and similar. It's kind of like The Search for Bigfoot, except you can't miss it because it's huge. Wolf Boy, in the back seat, yeah, I did have to bring him because he's not housebroken yet. So, and if I'm going to a show, Morgan didn't want to deal with him for the night because she was like making some tea or something special tea, or I don't know. She was talking about some nonsense. So I took Wolf Boy with me. He's in the back there. I'm trying to keep him quiet, so. Yeah, classic horror is where it's at. I really, truly love it. Like, I don't only show classic horror because it's public domain, although that is a big reason. There's obviously a lot of modern horror I love, but I think it's good, and I think it shouldn't be lost. Like, I think that so many people would not be watching the classics and these old movies if it wasn't for horror hosts like the box sets of compilation of things, and I love that because you're bored and you're randomly reaching there, pull something out, and you're going to watch something that you never would have watched otherwise or come across. And they do streaming, which I also love streaming. I am not a physical media person. Let's debate that sometime if you want. But I am not a physical media person. I am a streamer. And it's so easy to just scroll until you find something and just leave it at that, or get choice paralysis of just scrolling and finding things and end up just watching something you've already seen or something. So just actually being able to find the classics and watch them is something that is, like, there's so many movies just from horror hosting that I found that I love, absolutely love, that I never would have seen any other way. So that's really important to me. It's one of the reasons I love horror hosting. And I've said it before, as a horror fan, I really have a soft spot for modern horror. I love modern horror. A lot of people really like the older stuff. I do too, but if I had to pick, I like modern horror. But I don't know that I would actually want to show those movies because everybody watches those independently. Everybody's already going to watch the new Evil Dead movie. They're already going to watch, you know, all the Jason and Freddy and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those movies don't need to be shown. And, you know, every modern horror movie that comes out, like, if people get excited for it, I think that's amazing. Yes, go see it. But if I show it, it's kind of lost in the noise. But if I show something that people haven't seen as much, or, you know, an old classic favorite, you can be like, oh yeah, I haven't seen this in years. And that's one of the things we try to do, is stay away from some of the movies that are shown over and over and over again. Yes, we do show them. There comes a time where it just fits what we want to do, or we just really love a movie and we want to show it. But a lot of the times I try to pick movies that either I haven't watched before, or not a lot of people know, or just coming up with random stuff. And a lot of the time, unfortunately, it's really bad. I was just rewatching part of Belle from Hell earlier, and that is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. So go check out our show for Belle from Hell if you want to see a terrible movie. Any modern horror. I don't know how modern it is now, but I will say I cried watching, this is embarrassing, I cried watching The Orphanage because it freaked me out so bad. I was up by myself watching it at night once, and I just got so freaked out that I just cried. And it's not even that scary, but for some reason ghosts can really scare me, even though if you watch the show, you know I'm always reporting at ghost stories. I'm always looking for ghosts. But if I actually saw one, I'd be a little bitch about it. They scare me. And then aliens terrify me. Even though I'm also super interested in aliens and I'm fascinated by this stuff. But yeah, it scares me. So paranormal movies can freak me out a little bit. There are certain movies that scare me too, like ones that could actually happen that seem related, like that make you do a double take when you're leaving your house. Like not so much movies like The Purge, because you know that's a dystopian society. But if it's something that's like full disclosure, a couple of years ago somebody tried to burn down my house. You know, so it was someone who was mental illness. I won't go into the details, but and it failed. But I didn't sleep well for probably 2 years, just because I was so freaked out by it. And so movies about that kind of stuff that can actually happen can like stay in my brain and kind of freak me out. Angel Heart. I don't know that I've seen Angel Heart, so I'm gonna have to check that out now if it freaked you out. So there's not too many movies that scare me. I actually laugh at most horror movies. If someone gets their head cut off, I'm like, yeah, even though I am like bleeding heart, like love everyone kind of person. I have zero desire to see anyone hurt ever. But in a movie, fair game, but not animals. I cannot handle animals dying in movies. Even my favorite movies, like I love American Psycho, but the animal deaths really bother me. That's something I skip because it just bothers me so much. like with an animal. I'm like, no, that was unnecessary. Don't do that. I know a lot of people are with me on that, and other people, you know, just expect it in horror movies. It's one of the parts of horror movies I really don't like. And I also really like movies that are very slow, have a lot of character development, and a lot of like build up to action. I don't mind those at all. Like books too. I love books that just take a long time building up characters, because I love feeling like I'm living somebody else's life for a while, like experiencing somebody else's thoughts, experiencing someone else's life and different things that could never happen to me. And so just living in those moments without the action kind of puts me in that world. So I really love the slow development ones. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else freaked me out. There have been in other movies here and there, but not too many. Sinister scared me a little bit. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. But I absolutely love movies like Insidious, Sinister, Conjuring. Please make a horror movie. Please do it. That would be amazing. And if I can, I'd show it or talk about it, because that'd be really cool. If anybody ever does independent horror or anything and you want me to talk about it, just send us a message. Be like, hey, can you interview me, promote this or whatever? We really, really want to promote independent horror, local artists, things like that. So if you ever have like an idea or a story or something that we can talk about, interview or cover, love to hear about it. Or be involved in it if we're in the area and you need an extra for the day or something. I'll show up if I can. Just because art means so much to me, and especially independent art, because it's not, there's no agenda with most of it, and that's what I love. Like, even YouTubers, like, they're not, the really big ones are often controlled by sponsors and all these things, but a lot of the times other ones aren't, and it's just people being creative and putting something of themselves out there, and I love that. But I am actually here at Route 20 to see the Almas play, so if you can make it out tonight, I mean, obviously if you're not here by now, you probably won't, but I just figured I'd let you know what's going on tonight, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.